What's up, y'all? This is Brave, and I'm back for a review of a new show that's on our radar. That is The Impact New York. Yes, we are kind of familiar with the Atlanta group because that's where this originated. There was The Impact Atlanta that was based on Ari, the Don, and all her friends. And now we are in New York. So, this is a new show, new season, new faces. Let's get to know them. So this episode is titled A New York State of Mind, and let's get right into it. So first up, we meet Dream Doll. A lot of us are familiar with her. I believe we met her on Bad Girls Club years ago. But, now she is an influencer slash rapper. She has 5 million followers on social media. And baby girl is now in her acting bag, okay? She said that she booked 6 roles, and 3 of them are lead roles. That's a big deal. Considering she's just now getting started with acting, maybe that's a new calling for her. I mean, I haven't seen any of her projects. If any of you have, please let me know. Are they good? But yeah, shout out to her. So Dream Doll, she says that, she was able to get her family out of the projects, and that was like one of her biggest goals. So her family is all around. They're going to have dinner together, and they start by praying over the food. So as they're praying over the food, I think the mom had them say like one thing that they were grateful for, I believe. So Dream is getting super emotional about, the things that she's prayed for, because at this point in her life, she doesn't know where her life is headed. Because I feel like she had one idea, she was going to be a rapper, and then the influencer thing started really booming for her, and now she's doing acting. So she is currently building her relationship with God, and she feels like she hasn't found her purpose. And I'm just like, listen, girl, just stay on the path that you on, because clearly it's a good one. So she wants to have kids. She tells her mom that she thinks that that's what's going to fulfill her. And then says that she wants to have 5 kids, like her mama did. I said, girl, 5? In this economy? Like, I know you get into the bag, but, like, kids are expensive. But let's go ahead and move on to the next person. So, you guys, we see Chinese Kitty. And she was on Love and Hip Hop. I do remember seeing her, and I believe her mom were on a couple of seasons of Love and Hip Hop. I think it was Atlanta. So she is a rapper. She has 3.8 million followers on social media. And I believe she had that song called Thought Box. And it had like a bunch of other female rappers on it that were up and coming. Here's the thing. I'm going to be honest. I'm not really familiar with her. Like, yes, I remember her from Love and Hip Hop, but that's about as far as it goes. Even that song that she talked about, that Thought Box song, that song came out like 5-6 years ago, I feel like. But then we see her performing on a stage, and I'm just like, yeah, this still ain't giving. So maybe you need to focus on the music and let us hear something better. So, according to her, she only gets negative press unless it's about her music. And again, I haven't heard anything about this girl or her music, so that says a lot. And now we learned that she has a son whose name is Ashton, who is her world. And then she lets us know that she has a song with Dream Doll, and that they never dropped the record, and it's been like a year or two. And I'm just like, girl, well, did you scrap the song or what? What is going on? Oh, baby, we'll talk about that a little bit later. Let's move on to the next person that we meet, and that was Melanie. Now, I can't lie, when I first read her name, I thought it was Melanie, but no, it's Melanie. I think. Anyway, she has a boyfriend named Chicklet. I said, not Chicklet. So she has 2.8 million followers on social media, or I think on Instagram, and she is an influencer. She's been doing it for like 5-6 years, and at first she started making content with her boyfriend. So, of course, they were probably doing pranks on each other, the typical couples content or whatever. But now, baby, times have changed. Number 1, they're engaged. Number 2, she is trying to pivot her career into something else outside of social media. She really wants to get into acting. So she tells her boyfriend, like, hey, can you run some lines with me? Because I have this script that I want to go over. And baby, he had no interest. He didn't want to help her at all. Like, I didn't like that. His whole energy, I did not like. Because for me, it seemed like he was hating on her. Like, no, I'm not going to help you better yourself. No, I'm not going to help you get to another bag because you're trying to do it without me. That's the vibe that he was giving. Like, okay, I understand she's trying to be an actress, and yes, she may need an acting coach, but it's not gonna kill you to run some lines with her. Like, come on, be so serious. I just didn't like the vibe of her boyfriend. He seems like he's a hater, that her career will be, pivoting into something else, and she's gonna be getting to the bigger bag without him. Also, side note, their dog is really cute. Moving on. So we move on to Bernice. Y'all, we are familiar with Bernice Burgos. She has 7.3 million followers. Now, she is 43 years old, and she feels like she is in her prime. Now, I will say this. I personally feel like I don't need her on this show as a cast member. Just because everybody else is so much younger. Like, I wouldn't mind if Bernice is just like here and there, shoot a few scenes with her daughter and move on. But I don't feel like we needed Bernice full time on the show. I mean, we'll see how it goes, but her name is in the credits. And I get it, she's popping and all of that. But like I said, she's just so much older than the rest of the cast. It kind of gives me cringe. Like, also, I think they had called her, like, one of, like, the It Girls or something like that. And I'm like, Bernice was really an It Girl on Drake's roster. Because when I think of It Girls, I'm thinking, like, Drea Michelle, but that's a whole other story. Back to what she's talking about. So, she meets up with one of her friends, and they talk about her brand called The Bold and the Beautiful. It looked like little pajama sets. Y'all let me know, what is her business? Like, what are they selling? Because it was looking like little pajama sets. Nonetheless, they also talk about her daughter. So her friend ended up asking her, like, how do you feel about your daughter doing social media? And Bernice says that her daughter doesn't know how to turn it off. And that's the thing about the younger generation, Gen Z. They thrive off of social media, and unfortunately, sometimes it's to their own detriment because they don't know how to live without social media. So she doesn't know how to tune out the haters. We learned that she had her daughter when she was 15 years old. So, of course, people think that they're sisters. She mentioned how her daughter is getting into music, and she just really wants her daughter to focus on music if she's going to do that. Like, if you're going to do music, really grind, really put into work, you know what I'm saying, and make it happen. And I'm just like, well, I wonder if Bernice is able to really get her daughter connected with a lot of people, considering Bernice knows so many people. But speaking of her daughter, let's go talk to her. So we see Ashley, and she is meeting up with her friend Chrissy. They are working out or whatever in the gym, and it seemed like that friend should have been friends with Bernice. Because I'm sorry, was I the only one who thought that lady looked old in the face? I'm like, is she in her 40s? Because that's what it's giving. Nonetheless, Ashley talks about how she used to work with her mom or her clothing line, but she's been so busy. We learned that she has a child of her own, and she only has 200K followers. So, if anything, I feel like her being on the show will definitely have more eyes on her. And, if the public likes her, her numbers will increase as far as her following. So, she does have a child of her own. And it was interesting to me because as they were talking about how, she really wants to do this music thing, her friend called her a Nepo baby. And I was like, Nepo baby? I really wouldn't even call her that. No offense, but like, you being a Nepo baby of basically a video girl or like an Instagram girl, no. I don't think that's how that works. Also, what I've realized is that nepotism in the music industry doesn't really work for current Black artists. As far as like their kids getting in the game, it's hard. I can actually do a whole video on that about how people who were popping as artists, their kids do not have that same pop at all. But we're going to move on to the next topic. So, you guys, we meet Ella Bands. Now, Ella Bands is a name that I have been hearing for years. And usually, it has to do with drama with her baby daddy. Alright, so we actually learned that she has 2.2 million followers on social media. She has a lash company that has made her over $1 million. And like I mentioned, her man is a boogie with a hoodie, and they have 2 kids together. Now, like I said, if y'all follow her on social media or follow the blogs, you have seen them with their breakup to makeups and all of that drama. She says that she's ready to drop a clothing line. We learned a lot about her life, especially when she mentioned how, like, her mom treats her and how it was growing up, how they always were, like, getting put out of places. Like, this girl said she had been paying her mom's rent since she was 12. I said, 12? What were you doing, and what type of hustling and bustling were you doing at the age of 12? Because keep in mind, this girl has to still be in her 20s. So I'm just like, wait a second. If this was just, 10, 12 years ago, girl, what were you doing? I'm so curious. But nonetheless, she tells a story, like I said, about how she used to get kicked out of places. So now she craves stability. Like, she is willing to stick around in places that she probably don't even need to be anymore because it's stable for her. And then when it comes to her relationship, she says that she basically stopped reaching for all of her dreams because the focus was what? Always on him and what he got going on. And then on top of that, you add that they have kids. That's going to set you back as well. So one thing that I do like to see is women get back into their bag and, focus on themselves. So I'm really hoping that is what we see with Ella Bands. She says that she wants to meet up with the other cast members. So she's going to host a little event for all the ladies to show up. All right, so we next meet Cleopatra and Melanie. They meet up or whatever, and they're friends in real life. Okay, so Cleo is a rapper. She's from Staten Island. She only has, I'm saying only as if it's not a lot, but she only has 700,000 followers on social media, and that number is definitely going to go up because she seems to be like a cool girl. So the ladies talk about how they can possibly collaborate on content together, as well as how Melanie is trying to do stuff outside of working with her man. That scene, it was pretty quick, honestly. So let's go ahead and move on to Ella Bands and her event. So the ladies are meeting up with Ella Bands, and we learned that Ella and Ashley, they are friends in real life as well. So Cleo and Melanie show up, and the ladies, they start having dinner. So Melanie is talking about how, she's been getting into it with her man, and they talk about, having kids. Now, she says that she does want kids. However, she really wants to focus on her career right now before she brings kids into the situation. And then you have Ella. She's admitting that, yes, she does have 2 kids, but they have, kind of slowed her down from doing some things. So next thing you know, y'all, Chinese Kitty shows up. I don't know what music video she thought she was about to be in, because I'm just like, girl, what is this outfit? Like, it was cool, it was cute, but just not for what we were doing. She could have came in a cute little sweatsuit and would have been fine. But nonetheless, she shows up by herself. I think she thought that it was going to be a party. She didn't think it was going to be such an intimate event. And Ella can already tell that Chinese Kitty has her guard up, and she was absolutely right, because baby girl, she came in with the shenanigans, okay, from the door. I realized that Kitty is messy, okay? So she says to Cleo, no, before she even got to that point, she was in her confessional, and she said that Cleo is basically only popping because she's friends with Ice Spice. I'm just like, that's rude. So then in Cleo's face, she brings up the fact that Cleo like went off on her stylist or something like that. But Cleo was like, hold on, that happened between me and him. Like, that had nothing to do with you. I paid that person for a job, for a service, and they did not do what they were supposed to do. That has nothing to do with you and I getting to know each other. I said, come on, Cleo. Be the adult, say what it is, and let Kitty know that what you're not about to do is come stir up some mess that's unnecessary, okay? So they end up playing like a little card game or whatever. And next thing you know, Dream Doll, she shows up. It's her and her sister. They say hi to everybody. Whoever was like standing up, I think she gave them a hug. But again, Dream said hi to everybody. For some reason, here comes Kitty. She's like, yeah, Dream Doll, she came in and she didn't even speak to me. Girl, you're tripping. Did you want her to run up to you and be like, oh my gosh, Chinese Kitty, hey girl, give me a hug? Like, is that what you wanted? Because that's not what you were going to get. So they end up talking about, you know, the ladies who are doing music. And Dream Doll says that she feels disconnected from music. And I'm just like, girl, maybe this is God trying to tell you something. Maybe he is trying to send you in a different direction, sweetheart. So then here comes Kitty. She's like, oh yeah, we got to put out that record. You know, we did this record a year ago. Blah, 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 blah. I'm already telling y'all right now, I am Team Dream on this. Because at the end of the day, Chinese Kitty, it's your record. Therefore, it's up to you and your team to put it out. Now, if you want to talk about this music video, then yes, let me know your dates of when you want to shoot this and I'll let you know if I'm available. So next thing you know, they go into another room to talk about this. And Dream is like, why did you even bring all of this up in front of the girls like this? Because it's unnecessary. So Kitty, here she goes, playing dumb, trying to start drama. I'm just like, please stop. Please stop, Kitty. So, like, it got to the point where they were arguing, and you can clearly tell that Dream Doll is trying to be in a better place, because she ends up just walking out, and she's like, girl, bye. Because she was over the conversation. So they both end up leaving out of that other room, going back in with the other ladies, and Kitty, she's over here complaining because I guess one of the girls may have asked, like, what happened with the music video or whatever. And she's like, yeah, they wanted me to pay her $15,000 for a verse. I'm just like, that's her fee. Like, did we not all listen to Monster when Nicki Minaj said $50,000 for a verse, no album out? Listen, if Nicki was charging $50 back in the day, considering we are in 2024, I can absolutely see Dream charging $15,000 for a verse. I can. That's not even really a lot of money when you think about the grand scheme of things. So Dream was like, listen, I even told this girl, okay, skip the fee. All you gotta do is pay for my glam for the music video, which is my hair and my makeup. Keep in mind, y'all already know who's gonna be doing her hair. That is Arrogant Tay. Now, I already know that his fee is high, okay? So I would not be surprised if in total, glam may cost, close to $5,000? I mean, I don't know how much these celebrities be paying, you know, their makeup and hair artists, but I would not be surprised if it's a hefty price, okay? Because I know, like I said, Tay's price gotta be high. Yeah, I feel like we didn't get anywhere when it came to that because the girls were arguing and all of that. I just feel like this show is gonna be interesting. I really do. So far, I can say that I like Ella, I like Cleo, I like Dream. I think those may be my top 3 so far. Kitty already gets on my nerves. I can already tell she's going to continue to annoy me. You guys, I think that we might have a good show on our hands. Hopefully we get to actually see them do more than the Atlanta group. Because I feel like we are going to be able to see these girls actually like working and doing their thing. I'm just wondering why they chose to buy into New York to put on like VH1 versus Atlanta? Or are we going to get Impact Atlanta on VH1 next? I guess we have to wait and see. You guys, let me know what y'all thought about this episode. Are y'all feeling the ladies? What do y'all think about it? Go ahead and like, comment, subscribe to my channel, and I will talk to y'all in my next review. Bye, guys.